Today we have a pasta grandpa. Diego Zancani is a retired professor from Balliol College at Oxford University, but he was born in Piacenza, northern Italy.
Sono Diego e abito a Oxford, but from now on I will carry on in English. And I have been interested in various things from Piacenza, my hometown, and today I'm going to do a classic dish of our tradition, which is known as pisarei faśö. I've translated it correctly, I think, as little willies and beans. And it consists of white flour and breadcrumbs. So it is not pasta, technically speaking, but it is a type of little dumplings. So we'll make those.
He is sharing his mother's recipe for pisarei e faśö. Diego uses 200 grams of ordinary white flour and 150 grams of fine breadcrumbs.
Some salt in it before adding warm water. The dough shouldn't be too hard, and yet, should be workable. One of my teachers wrote to the colonel saying, Diego will suffer if he's far away from a library. And so I was sent to Cremona, which was a very nice place, famous for violin making. And while I was there, I started applying for jobs in Britain because I wanted to improve my English. This is getting the right consistency now. It is considered, a traditional peasant dish because flour was a bit expensive and bread was virtually inexpensive. In fact, so it was a way of using up what you had in your store.
Once you cannot see the breadcrumbs in the dough, it's ready to be rolled out into the thickness of a wooden spoon handle. Diego cuts them into Borlotti bean-sized pieces. Then he rolls each one across the board with his thumb. Diego, in his retirement, has written a book about how the British have loved Italian food since the ancient Romans. So we've always loved Italian food?
Well, certainly, so from the time of the Romans, and then when the Normans came, they seem to have brought some kind of pasta.
I cannot resist joining in. These are the North's version of cavatelli, aren't they?
That's right. The cavatelli are made with durum wheat,
yes,
with semolina, was it? Semola, so grano duro. And these are softer.
What is your favourite pasta?
Pappardelle, I think. Ai funghi.
Okay. For the beans, you can cook dried Borlotti beans or use a tin. Diego uses an earthenware dish for gentler cooking and melts about 25 grams of butter with a little olive oil. Then he chops up an onion, followed by a clove of garlic and some parsley.
The scent of sliced onion, in butter, because it reminds me that lunch is being prepared, and that used to be common around lunchtime in Italian towns.
He softens the onion in the butter before adding the parsley mixture.
I got it in Italy and then minced it with some parsley and garlic, which is the traditional way of using lardo in Piacenza, and it's known as una pistà ad gràss.
Pistà ad gràss is a pounded mixture of cured pork fat, garlic and a little bit of parsley. Diego stirs in a generous teaspoon for extra flavour. He adds half a tin of chopped tomatoes, followed by a tablespoon of tomato paste diluted with water. Next he adds the beans. Diego has a good tip if you cook your own.
Now, if this becomes too thick when I add the borlotti, the beans, I have reserved some of the broth from boiling dried borlotti. I actually froze it, and I've got some, and I could add that because, you know, that's extra flavor as well, you know, instead of water.
Diego adds his pisarei to boiling salted water. Once they bob to the top, they are ready.
Looking very pretty.
He mixes the pasta with the bean sauce and then adds plenty of freshly grated Parmigiano.
I pisarei faśö sono pronti.
Buon appetito!
Buon appetito!
This is one of my favourite pasta dishes. Buon appetito! Click on the subscribe button for regular helpings of Pasta Grannies.